How long does it take to become a millionaire? The world will tell you. Years of hard work, smart investments, blood, sweat, and tears. But I am not here to repeat what the world has taught you. I am not here to echo the outer voices of limitation and logic. I am here to speak to the God within you, the imagination that is Christ in action. I am here to speak to your spirit, and your spirit does not recognize time as man does. It does not bow before circumstances. It creates them. To be a millionaire in 12 days is not a trick, nor is it a deception. It is not a formula that requires charts or business plans. It is a revelation, a remembering. You do not become a millionaire in 12 days. You awaken to the reality that you already are one. The 12 days is not for the world to show you proof. It is for you to accept it, to assume it, to embody it. Let me ask you this. What would you feel if you knew that 12 days from now, you would have $1 million in your account? Not might have it. Not if you worked hard or strategized. No. What would you feel if it was already done? Would your breathing change? Would your shoulders relax? Would you walk into the world differently? Would you sleep more soundly? Yes, you would. Because the consciousness of wealth carries a certain tone, a certain texture. It vibrates differently. You must tune into that vibration, not by doing more, but by assuming more. 12 days is not a countdown to some miracle that needs to be built. It is a window for you to rest in the state of your wish fulfilled, to imagine lavishly, to feel intensely, to embody joyfully. You see, the outer world is always reflecting the inner state, always. If the inner man feels poor, abandoned, undeserving, then the world will continue to show him evidence of that feeling. But if the inner man becomes rich, if he dares to walk, speak, sleep, and exist from the state of wealth, then wealth must appear. It must. The law is impersonal. It does not care whether you are worthy or not. It does not measure your goodness or badness. It only reflects what you are conscious of being. And if you are conscious of being a millionaire without contradiction, without doubt, without trying, then so you shall be. Let us not waste these 12 days looking for how. Let us not occupy the mind with what ifs. But how will it come? That is not your concern. That is not your job. You are not here to solve the mystery of manifestation. You are here to feel it as real, to enter the scene and live from it, not towards it. Close your eyes. Imagine this with me. Feel the weight of the world lifted because now you no longer chase money. It flows to you like breath. See the balance in your account. Touch it with your inner senses. Feel the texture of the life that you would be living right now if you were truly fully a millionaire. Not tomorrow. Not one day. Now. Hear the way people speak to you now that your wealth is revealed. Hear their congratulation. Feel the handshake of success. Feel the warm satisfaction in your chest as you sit in the silence and know it is done. Do not ask for proof. Proof is the enemy of the miraculous. The moment you demand evidence before belief, you chain yourself to the visible and deny the invisible, which is the source of all things. Faith is seeing with the inner eye, believing in the unseen so powerfully that the seen must shift. 12 days of faithful assumption is all it takes. But assumption must be consistent. It must become your dwelling place, not a quick visit, not a fleeting affirmation, but a home, a place you return to each moment, a state you wear like a second skin. So for 12 days you will not try to become a millionaire. You will be one. Even if your current reality laughs at you, even if the bills pile up, or the account is low, or others call you delusional. Ignore it all. These are shadows of past beliefs. They have no power unless you give it to them. Pay them no mind. Speak only to your inner man and say to him, you are rich now, not later. Now. Every time you doubt, return to the scene. Re-enter it with feeling, not forcefully, not with strain, but gently, lovingly. It is your inheritance, after all. It is not something you must earn. It is something you already possess within you. Do not seek to manifest the money. Seek to become the version of yourself who already has it. And once you are that version in consciousness, the outer must bow. Think of yourself as an actor who has been cast in the role of the millionaire. You are not pretending. You are embodying. You move through the world as that character, not because you are faking it, but because you are it. In the quiet hours of the morning when the world still sleeps, you will rehearse your wealth, not in words alone, but in feeling. You will lay in bed and say to yourself, How wonderful it feels to be free, to be abundant, to never worry again. And then you will drift in that feeling. Let it saturate your bones. Throughout the day, you will not contradict your assumption. If worry arises, smile. Say that no longer belongs to me. That was the old man. I am new now. If fear creeps in, affirm. It is done. Gently, kindly. You are training your imagination to obey you, not the world. You are not trying to manifest $1 million. You are stepping into the dimension where it is already yours. And believe me, that dimension exists. All possibilities exist. Every version of you is alive now. The version that is broke, the version that is struggling, and the version that is a multimillionaire with ease. You choose which one to animate with your attention. So choose. Now, the God within you, the imagination, is waiting on you to command, to decree, to define yourself, not by facts, but by faith. On day one you assume, you declare, I am now wealthy. I am now a millionaire. You do not explain it. You do not beg for it. You assume it. Day two you feel the reality more intensely. You start walking differently. You take care of your body, your space, your mind as one who is wealthy. By day three, you begin to see shifts, not necessarily in your bank account, but in your state. You are more calm, more generous, more magnetic. On day four you may be tested. The world might show you contradiction. Laugh. Smile. Say that was the old reflection. The new is coming. Day five. The inner vision sharpens. You begin to believe not just mentally but viscerally. Day six. Synchronicities begin. Conversations, opportunities, ideas, they seem to appear out of nowhere. But you know they are echoes of your inner world. Day seven. Your confidence blooms. You do not chase, you attract. You do not fear. You expect. Day 8 you may feel a wobble. That is okay. Do not resist. Just return to the scene, the feeling, the truth. It is done. By day 9, you speak like a millionaire. Not arrogantly but peacefully. There is power in your tone. Day 10. Someone offers something. A gesture, a gift, a sign. Do not dismiss it. Receive it as proof that your assumption is working. Day 11. The external begins to bow. People notice. You are different. And on day 12 you wake up, not surprised but fulfilled, because it has become natural, normal, yours. Now let me be clear. The money may appear within 12 days, or just after. It may come as cash, or opportunity, or inspiration. But the timing is not your concern. The manifestation is not your job. Your job is to remain faithful, to feel it real, to assume it done. There are no limits, only the ones you accept. When you say 12 days is not enough, you have sealed your fate. But when you say 12 days is more than enough, for God needs only one moment, you have invited the miracle in. God is not out there. He is within you as your wonderful human imagination. He hears your every assumption, your every belief, and what you assume you become. What you feel you attract. What you dwell in you create. So dwell in wealth, dwell in ease, dwell in overflow. Let the world catch up later. You are not here to follow the rules of men. You are here to create new laws from within. And the only law that matters is this. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and live from it. That is all. When you close your eyes tonight, do not fall asleep with worry. Fall asleep with gratitude. Gratitude for the million that is already yours. Feel the relief, the thrill, the awe. Then sleep in that feeling. As you wake, do not grab your phone to check the world. Check in with your inner world. Ask yourself, am I still in the state? And if not, return. It only takes one moment of full acceptance to shift your entire world. One moment where you say, I am this now, and mean it. 12 days of faithful imagining. 12 days of mental discipline. 12 days of emotional embodiment. That is all it takes. And if you can remain loyal to your assumption, no matter what appears, then the outer must conform. It is law. So I leave you with this charge. For 12 days, dare to forget the world. Dare to feel it real. Dare to assume boldly. And watch how the unseen becomes seen. How the impossible becomes obvious. You are already a millionaire in the only place that matters, in consciousness. Now live from that truth, and the world will rearrange itself in divine time. And when the 12th day comes, you will no longer be surprised, because you knew it all along. It is done. It is complete within you. The outer world now has no choice but to echo back your inner truth. And yet you do not wait with anxious eyes. You wait with the calm certainty of one who has planted a seed and trusts the laws of nature to bring it forth. You do not dig it up every hour to check for progress. You rest. You relax into the knowing, and that knowing is your wealth. There is a sacred power in your stillness, in your refusal to react to the old world, in your refusal to be moved by appearances. For those 12 days and beyond, you become unshakable. You become like the mountain, unmoved by the wind. The world tries to convince you that you are not yet wealthy, and you smile, not from arrogance, but from inner assurance. You simply reply in consciousness, too late, I already became it. That is the secret. Once you become it within, the world must mirror it. It has no choice. It is bound to the law, just as surely as a reflection must change when the image before the mirror changes. Your only task is to maintain the image, maintain the assumption, the scene, the feeling. You are not reacting anymore. You are initiating, creating, commanding. Every day, every hour, every breath, you are returning to the inner state of wealth, and dwelling there, not visiting. It gets easier. With each passing day, the assumption becomes less effort, and more nature. It begins to take root, and from that root, the fruits will spring forth. Yes, you may receive an unexpected payment. Yes, you may have a business idea or opportunity appear seemingly out of nowhere. But remember, it is not out of nowhere. It is from the inner world. It came because you aligned. It came because you aligned. It came because you assumed. People will ask you, how did it happen so fast? And you will say, because I stopped trying to become and I simply became. You didn't hustle harder. You didn't wait longer. You believed deeper. You surrendered the outer struggle and chose inner certainty. You will find yourself no longer chasing money, because money begins to chase you. It seeks you out. It is drawn to your vibration. For wealth is not attracted to effort. It is attracted to identity. And your identity is now clear. You are wealthy, you are rich, you are a millionaire in consciousness, and therefore soon to be informed. Now listen closely. Never go back to the old state, not even for a moment. For the old man, the version of you who worried, who doubted, who begged, he is gone, buried. Let him stay buried. Do not resurrect him with fear or frustration. The new man has risen, and he lacks nothing. You may walk into stores now and feel different, not because you are showing off, but because you are now walking in alignment with abundance. You may speak differently, not because you are faking it, but because you are now speaking the language of the fulfilled. Every gesture becomes sacred. Every thought becomes deliberate. You now understand that money was never the goal. It was a byproduct, a symbol of alignment. And now that you are aligned, it flows freely. 12 days from now, you will not only see evidence, you will become evidence. You will stand as proof that the law works, that imagination creates reality, that the unseen is more powerful than the seen. You will inspire others, not with effort, but with embodiment, not with what you do, but with who you are. You will no longer ask, how long will it take? Instead you will say, it already happened. I am simply watching the world reveal it. You will smile when people ask what your secret is, and you will whisper what the mystics have always known. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and that's all. 12 days, 12 steps, 12 moments of surrender, and then the world shifts, and the mirror smiles back, because you remembered who you are, and who you are is already enough. You were never meant to struggle, to strive endlessly for some distant reward. The riches you seek were planted within you from the very beginning, waiting, simply waiting, for you to awaken, not to earn them, but to accept them. There is no external gatekeeper, no authority outside of you holding the keys to your fortune. The key has always been in your hand, hidden in plain sight. It is imagination, it is assumption, it is the silent inner knowing that what you feel deeply and consistently will become the shape of your life. These 12 days are not about rushing the universe. They are not a race. They are a sacred passage, a focused devotion, a chosen intimacy with the feeling of wealth. Day by day, you are simply peeling away the layers of doubt, of conditioning, of false modesty, until only truth remains. And the truth is, you were born wealthy, you were born powerful, you were born to command, not to beg. When you finally drop the idea that wealth must come from doing, then you open yourself to receive from being. And being is the most magnetic force in the universe. Being is not loud, it does not shout, It whispers, I am, and the universe obeys. Let yourself be still and know that all that you are imagining is real. Let yourself hear the echo of your wealth long before the world plays the sound. Let yourself believe without proof, trust without evidence, and give thanks before any sign. Gratitude before evidence is the mark of the awakened creator. Give thanks now, not because you want to attract more, but because you already have it. Give thanks for the abundance that is moving toward you, because you have finally stopped chasing and started receiving. Imagine now that you are in a space where every desire is met with ease. You walk into a room, and you are the energy of generosity. You no longer ask, how can I get, but what can I give? Not out of lack, but from the overflow, from the cup that runs over. You will notice that money is no longer a thing to fear or protect. It is a current that flows through you. It touches you and blesses others through you. It becomes a servant to your vision. In this state of consciousness, you are never desperate. You are never chasing. You are resting in knowing. The phone may ring with good news. A deal may close. An idea may bloom. But you won't be surprised. You'll smile with the inner voice that says, of course, that's just how it works. You are walking through a different world now. Others won't understand. That's all right. They do not need to. You are not here to convince them. You are here to live it. When they ask, because they will. You will not give them steps or secrets. You will speak in the language of the soul. You will say, I saw it first within. I felt it. I assumed it. And the rest followed. They will ask again, but how did you make $1 million in 12 days? And you will say, because I stopped waiting for it, and began living from it. Because when you assume something so deeply that it becomes natural, inevitable, unconscious, that is when the miracle arrives, not as a thunderbolt from the sky, but as a natural outcome, a quiet unfolding. It is not magic, it is law. The law does not discriminate, it does not delay, it does not punish, it reflects. That's all it does. So what will you reflect for the next 12 days? Will you reflect scarcity, and wait to feel rich? Or will you reflect wealth now, and watch as the universe molds itself around your feeling? You don't need more time. You need more presence, more belief, more certainty in the unseen. And if at any point you falter, return to the silence, return to the state, close your eyes, and see it again, feel it again, speak it again. This is not repetition, it is creation. You are creating yourself anew, and when the 12th day arrives, the shift may be so natural, so seamless, that you won't even remember the day it began. It will feel as though you've always been this version of you, because in truth you have. You just forgot, and now, you remember. You remember that everything you've ever desired has been waiting on the other side of your assumption. You remember that wealth was never something to chase, it was something to claim. You remember that the state of being precedes the state of having, and that by shifting the feeling within, the outer world bows in response. And as you walk through these 12 days, not in effort, but in embodiment, you will find yourself smiling for no reason at all. That's how you know it's working. When joy arises without evidence, when peace replaces panic, when your heart whispers, I have it, even if the outer world says otherwise. Because now, your outer world is not your God, your imagination is. You trust the invisible more than the visible. You trust the scene behind your eyelids more than the numbers in your bank account. You've crossed the line that separates the reactive from the creative. You've stepped into authorship, and the author writes boldly. You will write your days differently now. You will move through life as if the million is already there, not to prove anything, but because you truly feel it. And when you feel something as real, life mirrors it back, not because you've earned it, but because you've embodied it. 12 days becomes your consecrated space, a sacred experiment, a contract between you and the unseen forces that obey your dominant feeling. And every moment within those 12 days becomes an opportunity to choose, again and again, the state of already having. You'll begin to notice your speech changing. You'll say things like, I always have more than enough, or everything I touch turns to gold. And you'll feel it not as hopeful affirmations, but as statements of fact. You'll catch yourself dreaming bigger, acting freer, giving more generously. And all the while, the world will begin to yield. Doors that were closed will crack open. Opportunities that were hidden will reveal themselves. Ideas that seemed distant will flood your mind with clarity. Because you no longer match the frequency of lack, you now match the tone of abundance. And here is the beautiful irony. By day 12, it will no longer be about the million. It will be about the self you've become, the free, bold, radiant, limitless self, who finally said yes to their true identity. You'll look back and realize the money was never the goal. It was the permission slip, the catalyst, the mirror. And now, standing in your wealth, not just in your bank, but in your soul, you'll realize you can never go back, because once the soul has remembered, it does not forget. Once you've tasted the power of assumption, the beauty of conscious creation, you can never again believe in limitation, the way you once did. You'll chuckle at your old fears. You'll smile at the memory of how tightly you once held on to doubt, because now you know, you don't have to hustle. You don't have to beg. You don't have to wait. You just have to be. And being is enough to bend reality. Being is enough to create millions. Being is enough to change everything. So you let go. You let go of the timelines, the doubts, the questions. You let go of the need to understand how it will come, because now you dwell in the feeling, and the feeling is your guide. You walk with a new kind of confidence, not loud, not boastful, but still, certain, like the ocean that moves with its own rhythm, untouched by storms above. The world around you may still appear the same on the surface for a moment, but inside, you know everything has changed. The blueprint has shifted. The inner construction is complete, and soon the outer world must match it, just as surely as a tree must grow from the seed that has been planted. That is the law. This is not hope. This is not daydreaming. This is creation. For 12 days, you choose not to react to what is. You choose to respond only to what you have accepted as true. You live not from your 5 senses, but from your 6th, your imagination. You act as if, speak as if, feel as if you are already what you desire to be. And the more you do this, the easier it becomes. It turns from effort to ease, from ritual to rhythm. You begin to notice that the need to manifest fades, not because you gave up, but because you finally received. You stepped out of seeking and into having. And in this state of having, everything unfolds. It does not matter if others understand. It does not matter if they see nothing changing at first. They do not have to. They are not your source. Your reality is shaped by your consciousness alone. The moment you allow their opinions to become your truth, you step out of your power. But now you no longer seek approval. You no longer wait for confirmation. You live in the knowing, and this knowing becomes your shield. It becomes your compass. It becomes your new home. Now you walk into every room with the quiet poise of a millionaire, not because of a number in the bank, but because of the wealth you carry in your state of being. You no longer have to force anything. You no longer chase. You attract by nature. Ideas come, people come, opportunities arise, and still you don't get excited from desperation. You smile, because you understand. This is just the natural unfolding of what you already accepted within. You begin to see life as play, not pressure. You begin to relax into receiving, and the more you relax, the more flows in. The 12 days become your initiation into a new dimension of self, a dimension where wealth is your identity, not your goal. And once you step into identity, everything shifts to accommodate it. You don't speak about becoming. You speak from being. You don't visualize to attract. You visualize to remember. You don't affirm to convince yourself. You affirm because you are already convinced. And so I leave you with this truth. You do not become a millionaire in 12 days. You awaken to the millionaire you already are. It is not about chasing money, chasing success, or proving anything to anyone. It is about remembering who you are, assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and living from that state without question, without compromise. Let the world watch and wonder. Let logic protest. Let time try to convince you to wait. But you remain in the state. You stay faithful. You hold the vision, because when you feel it as real, persistently, confidently, unapologetically, the world must rearrange. That is the law, and the law never fails. In 12 days, you will not be surprised. You will simply be aligned. Wealth will no longer be a dream. It will be your normal, because you dared to feel it first. So now walk boldly in the direction of your assumption. Speak as the millionaire. Think as the millionaire. Think as the millionaire. Sleep as the millionaire. And rise each morning, not waiting, but already having. You are no longer seeking riches. You are radiating them, and the entire universe will rise to meet the truth you've dared to live. It is done.